On today's ProPresenter show, brought to you by ChurchTechU.com, how to add an additional display with an Apple TV for ProPresenter, and why you may not want to. Hi, and welcome again to another episode of the ProPresenter show. My name's Paul Allen Clifford. One of the things people are always asking how to do is add another display to their Mac, and a USB to video display card is a good option, although with High Sierra 10.13.3 and 10.13.4 and later, there have been some problems. But another option is to use an Apple TV. So I wanted to show you how to do it and some reasons why you may not want to. So let's head over to my Apple TV, take a look, and then we'll take a look over at my computer. Okay, so here we are in the Apple TV, and as you'll recall, in a previous episode, I showed you the Stage 2 app for Apple TV. So before we go on, I do want to show you some settings that we need to make sure are set correctly here. We need to make sure that AirPlay is good to go, and we know what it's called. And we do have some different options here. What I would suggest using is either anyone on the same network and using a dedicated network, or only people sharing this home. Those two are probably the best way to go here. So let's head back here. And also make sure that the network is good to go. So make sure that you're connected and everything, because we're going to be sending this over the network. So I'll go back to this, and then we're going to head over to my computer and take a look at some of the settings there. So here we are in my computer, and you'll notice that I'm in System Preferences, and more specifically displays. So I went ahead and I did that, and so once you do that, you'll notice I've only got two outputs connected right now, and so what I need to do is add an additional output. So you'll notice up here I've got show mirroring options when available checked down here, and I have the option to AirPlay to the office, or I could do it up here by AirPlaying to the office. Okay, so you'll notice that I now have three displays here. I've got my Apple TV, I've got my main one, which is the one you're looking at, and what would normally be my main output screen. So I only have the built-in display in my MacBook Pro here, and this main display out as my normal outputs. So that's pretty cool that I'm doing this one over the network. So once we go back into ProPresenter, Preferences, and Displays, we should see that I've got three. So theoretically, you could put the output over here on the Apple TV, and so let me do just that, and I'll show you what that looks like if I do it. So you can see that's less than perfect. It's Still got the bar up there. Here. And so that's not exactly what we want. That might be something that I can get rid of fairly easily with setting displays as separate spaces. I've got that on right now, and that should be off. So the other thing is there seems to be some latency in doing this. Like I'm changing between slides right now, and it's not doing that. So I think that that's probably less than ideal for the main display. But let's go back over here. Yep, see, it just changed. And it had been a while since I did this. So I would not recommend doing this as your main display out. You probably want to stick with the hardwired version. So if we head back here and go back into preferences and swap that for the stage display. So instead of using the Stage 2 app, you might think, well, I'll just use the Apple TV, save myself $10. Well, let's take a look at what happens when we do that. So let me enable, first off I'm going to turn this off. Okay, so now I've got the stage display on, and so let's see how that behaves. Right now they match the stage display that's on the preview and this one, and still a good amount of latency. So that's a way to do it, but you'd probably want to stick with a layout that was had both the preview, like the very next line of your lyrics, and what was up there, and not use the live view. So in fact, let me change over to a different stage display layout. I've changed that and it hasn't changed. There we go. So again, depending on network conditions, this is less than optimal. The Stage 2 app is a much better way to go, so I'd suggest that just in general. So as you can see, less than ideal. It is a way to do it if you're pressed, but I just wouldn't recommend doing it. It could be that it'll work great most of the time, but then, you know, I don't have a few hundred people here on my network. I've got me and my 11-year-old daughter who is grounded from electronics right now, so that could just be her asking the Google Home what time it is. I mean, really, it could be just that simple. So that's why I wouldn't do it, and that's how to do it, either way. If you like this content, then you'd probably like some of my free mini courses, so head on over to tdm.fyi/pro6mini, M-I-N-I, and sign up for the Pro 6 Hardware Mini course, which is the larger course that this is going to be, well, the Pro 6 Hardware course is the larger course that the Mini course is a part of, and that this video is going to be a part of. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, etc. This is Paul Allen Clifford with TrinityDigitalMedia.com. Go out and change eternity. On today's ProPresenter show, what am I going to say? One of the things that people are always asking to do, and there's a text message. Okay. Okay, so after OBS restarting a couple of times and iTunes restarting a couple of times, I'm finally to here where I've added in what is the Stage Display app, which is not the Stage Display app, the Appletv, which is this guy right here.